Easy English Talk Podcast.
Hello, my amazing listeners, and welcome to the Easy English Talk Podcast. My name is Jack, and I'm here with you today as your daily guide, your friend, and your English learning partner. Every time you press play on this podcast, I imagine you sitting somewhere with hope in your heart, ready to take one more step forward in your journey of learning English. That makes me feel proud of you, and it fills me with excitement to share something valuable with you today. So thank you for being here, and thank you for trusting me with your time. Now, let's step into today's topic, a topic that is close to the hearts of many learners around the world: how to break the fear of speaking English in public. I want to start by saying this. If you have ever felt nervous, shaky, or even terrified when someone asks you to speak in English, you are not alone. Millions of learners feel exactly the same way, and I want you to know that it is not a weakness. It is simply a very human feeling. Why do we feel this fear? That's a good question, isn't it? Imagine standing in front of a group of people. Your heart beats faster, your palms sweat, and your mind suddenly goes blank. You know some English words, you've studied grammar, maybe you even practiced in front of the mirror, but at that moment, it feels like your voice has disappeared. Have you ever felt that way? If yes, let me hold your hand through this moment right now. Don't worry, you are not broken. You are just experiencing something all humans face: the fear of judgment. This fear comes from a little voice inside us that whispers, "What if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me? What if I sound stupid?" These questions hurt because they touch the deepest part of our self-confidence. But let me tell you something powerful. Mistakes are not your enemy. Silence is. When you speak, even if your grammar is not perfect, even if your accent is heavy, you are brave, and bravery is always stronger than perfection. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you're in a cafe in London. You want to order a coffee, but you're scared. You think, what if I say it wrong? Now, if you stay silent, you will never get your coffee the way you want. But if you say, "I want coffee, please," maybe it's not the most natural phrase, but the waiter will understand you, and you will succeed. That small success will make you stronger, and step by step, your fear will begin to shrink. So how do we start breaking this fear? Let's ask ourselves another question. What happens when we practice speaking little by little every single day? The answer is simple. You start building trust with yourself. Fear grows when we avoid something, but fear begins to disappear when we face it gently, not violently, but gently with love and patience. I want you to try something with me right now. Let's practice a small shadowing exercise. Don't worry, it will be short. I will say a sentence and you can repeat it after me. Even whisper it if you feel shy. Are you ready? Here it is. I am learning. I am improving. I am brave. Go ahead, repeat it now. Did you feel something inside? Maybe a little spark of confidence? That's the beginning, my friend. That spark can turn into a fire if you keep practicing. But I also know some of you might be thinking, "Jack, it's easy to say these words, but what about when I'm in front of real people?" And you're right, it is harder when we face others. That is why I always encourage learners to start small. Speak English to yourself in the mirror, record your voice on your phone, and listen. Join an online community where people support each other. Even saying one English sentence to a friend counts as progress. Don't wait for a perfect stage or a perfect audience. Your practice can begin today, right where you are with the tools you already have. I remember a student of mine, Maria, who used to shake whenever she had to speak in class. Her hands would tremble, her eyes would look down, and her voice was as soft as a whisper. One day I asked her, "Maria, what scares you most?" She said, "Jack, I'm afraid of people laughing at me. Oh, my heart broke for her because I knew how real that pain felt. So we made a deal. Every day, she would say just one English sentence out loud in class, no matter how short. The first day, she said, "I like coffee." The second day, "My name is Maria." The third day, "I have a cat." And slowly her voice grew stronger. After 3 months, she was answering questions in English without hiding. That's the magic of small, brave steps. Now, let's ask another question together. What if people really judge me when I speak English? This is the fear that holds many of us back. And yes, sometimes people do judge. But here's the truth. You cannot control their thoughts. You can only control your courage. And courage is not about never being scared. Courage is about being scared and speaking anyway. Think about it like this. If you speak and someone laughs, that laugh does not define you. It defines them. Your effort, your bravery, your journey, that is your true definition. I want you to remember something beautiful. Every single fluent English speaker you admire today once stood where you are standing now. They made mistakes, they felt embarrassed, they doubted themselves, but they kept speaking again and again. That is the only secret. No magic formula, no shortcut, just consistent, brave attempts to speak. So here's what I want you to take with you right now. Don't fight your fear, befriend it. Talk to it, say, "I see you, fear, I know you are here, but today I choose to speak anyway." When you do this, your fear slowly loses its power. It becomes smaller, weaker, and eventually it turns into just a shadow that cannot stop you anymore. Let's do one more short practice together before we pause for today's first part. I want you to repeat after me. My voice matters. My English matters. I will speak with courage. Say it with me now, slowly. Did you hear the sound of your own voice? That sound is your weapon. That sound is your freedom. And if today you only speak one English sentence to someone, even if it's just "Hello, how are you?" I want you to celebrate that as a victory. Because progress in language is not about big leaps, it's about tiny steps that you repeat with love and patience. Smile warmly. You are stronger than you think, and your English journey is a story worth telling. So, my dear listener, keep your heart open, keep your courage alive, and keep your voice ready to speak. I'm so proud of you for staying with me in this first part. I can't wait to continue sharing deeper strategies, emotional insights, and personal encouragement with you in part 2. Until then, remember this. Every word you speak in English is a victory, and I believe in you with all my heart. But let's dive a little deeper now. Let's ask ourselves, why does fear feel so powerful when it comes to speaking English in public? The truth is, fear grows in silence. When you don't speak, when you keep your English hidden inside, fear becomes louder. It starts to shout inside your head, "Don't try, you will fail." And the more you listen to that voice, the more you believe it. But here's the funny thing. The moment you actually open your mouth and say something, fear begins to shrink. Think about it. Have you ever felt terrified before a presentation or a meeting, but once you started talking, it became easier? That's how fear works. It's biggest right before you take action, but once you step forward, it loses its strength. That's why I always say the hardest word is the first word. Once you say it, the rest will follow. Smile softly. I remember another learner, Ahmed, who joined one of my workshops. He was brilliant in writing English, but when it came to speaking, his lips would almost freeze. I told him, "Ahmed, your mind knows the words, but your mouth refuses to cooperate." I told him, "Ahmed, imagine your fear is a big balloon. Every time you speak even a little, you pop a tiny hole in that balloon. Slowly, the air escapes, and one day, the balloon is flat." After 6 weeks of small daily speaking challenges, Ahmed gave a full 5-minute talk in English to the group. His voice was shaking, yes, but he finished. And when he sat down, tears filled his eyes, not because it was perfect, but because he realized he had finally taken control of his fear. That was his moment of freedom. So let me ask you, dear listener, what is your balloon of fear filled with? Is it memories of people laughing at you? Is it the feeling of forgetting words? Is it the worry of being misunderstood? Whatever it is, you can let that air escape slowly by speaking every single day, even in small, private moments. Whisper English sentences while cooking, talk to your reflection, or practice with a trusted friend. These little acts will make your fear weaker day by day.
Now, I know there are times when fear feels heavier than usual, especially in public situations, maybe at school, at work, or in front of strangers. That's when your brain tries to trick you into silence. But here's a secret strategy. Prepare 1 or 2 safe sentences in advance. For example, if you're going to a meeting, prepare a sentence like, "I would like to add something." If you're meeting new people, prepare, "It's nice to meet you." These little anchor sentences are like your safety net. When fear tries to push you down, these sentences help you stand tall and begin speaking. And here's something else. You don't need to sound perfect to connect with people. What people remember most is not your grammar, but your courage and your kindness. Think of the times you met someone speaking broken English. Did you judge them, or did you admire their effort? Most likely, you felt respect. The same will happen for you. People respect effort far more than perfection. Let's breathe together for a moment. Fear tightens your chest, makes your breath shallow. But when you breathe slowly, you calm your body, and your voice comes out clearer. So before you speak in English, pause, smile, and take 1 deep breath. It's a small ritual that can change everything. Now, let me share something personal with you. When I was younger, I also had to speak a language that was not my first. I remember standing in front of a group, my mind blank, my hands sweating. I wanted to run away. But when I finally forced myself to say just 1 sentence, something magical happened. The people listened. They didn't laugh, they didn't reject me, they listened. And that moment showed me the truth. People are kinder than our fear wants us to believe. So, dear friend, let me ask you again. What if you gave yourself permission to speak imperfectly? What if you accepted mistakes as natural steps, like a child learning to walk? When children fall, we don't call them failures, we cheer for them. Why not give yourself the same kindness? Your mistakes are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you are learning. I want to guide you through another short practice right now, but this one is about emotion. Repeat after me. With the feeling. I allow myself to make mistakes. I allow myself to grow. I am not afraid anymore. Did you notice how your voice felt different when you spoke with emotion? That's the power of speaking from your heart. Fear hates it when you bring emotion into your words because emotion gives you strength. Another helpful idea is to focus on connection, not perfection. If you go into a conversation thinking, "I must speak perfectly," your fear grows. But if you go in thinking, "I just want to connect, to share, to be understood," your fear softens. Connection is the true purpose of language, not grammar tests. Even if you use the wrong tense, if your listener feels your meaning, you've succeeded. One day, a student of mine gave a speech full of grammar mistakes, but when she finished, the audience clapped loudly. Why? Because she spoke with honesty and courage. She told a story from her heart. And that's what people remembered, not her mistakes, but her bravery. So, my dear listener, please remember this. Every time you choose to speak in English, you're choosing courage over fear. You're writing a new chapter in your story, one where fear no longer controls your voice. And I promise you, if you keep speaking, if you keep practicing, one day you will look back and wonder why you were ever so afraid. Right now, you may still hear that little voice inside saying, "But what if?" Ignore it. Speak anyway. Speak with trembling hands, with a shaking voice, with an uncertain accent, because your courage matters more than your comfort. And with each word, you will grow. Let me close today's episode with this heartfelt reminder. Your voice is a gift to the world. Don't hide it in silence. Share it, even if it feels imperfect, because it carries your heart, your story, and your truth. And when you speak, someone out there will be inspired, someone will learn from you, and someone will feel less alone. So keep speaking, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. I'll be here waiting for you in the next episode, cheering for every single word you dare to say. And remember this, my amazing listener, your English journey is not just about language. It's about courage, growth, and discovering the power of your own voice.